The Couple Next Door, written by Peg Lynch and starring Peg Lynch and Alan Bunce.
Now, let's see. Betsy, darling, will you stop that, please? Daddy's trying to think.
I'm dancing.
Yes, I know, dear, but
Well, I finished the dishes. What are you doing?
I'm going over plans for the new house. I don't know. I tell you, how everything can cost so much is beyond me. Darling, what did Daddy say?
I'm dancing.
Well-
She's tap dancing, dear. My goodness, we pay for the lessons. I think it's nice she practices a little bit.
You know, it's hard to think with that racket going on.
What have you cut out of the house?
Well, I guess we're going to have to cut out the screened-in porch.
Oh, honey, that was one thing I especially wanted.
I know,
A
but...
screened-in porch is so marvelous in the summertime. I mean, people that have them practically live out there during the warm weather. No, dear, we have to have a screened-in porch.
Oh, that's what you
have
say
to.
about everything. We
Yeah.
have got to cut out.
I know, but I just...
As far as having 4 bathrooms, I mean, it's completely impossible. We'll be lucky.
Oh, honey, I did
I'm
so...
sorry, I cannot think with that going on.
Well, frankly, I should think you'll be interested in her dancing. Look at her just a little bit, dear. Betsy, go on, dance for Daddy. That's
Watch me, Daddy.
Yeah, all right, go on. Of course, she's ruining the floors with those things on her shoes.
Well, she doesn't do it very much. Go on, dear. Go on.
Oh.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yes, that's very nice. Very nice.
Very good, dear. Isn't she wonderful, Daddy?
Yes, that's very nice, dear. Yeah, well, I think that's enough now, honey.
Aren't I good, Daddy?
Oh, yes,
May I have a cookie, Mommy?
Well, all right. Now take just one and put the cookie jar cover back on, dear.
My gosh, darling.
What?
I mean, we're kind of throwing away money for dancing lessons, are we?
What do you mean?
Well, for Pete's sakes, let's face it, that kid of ours hasn't got any talent at all.
Why, what a thing to say about your own daughter.
Come on, now, let's not kid ourselves. You can hardly call that tap dancing, just jumping up and down and slapping her feet on the floor.
Well, she's only had tap lessons this year. She's had mostly ballet.
But, darling, she's got no sense of rhythm at all. And that's one thing you either have or you don't
Well,
have.
she'll learn it. She
And
has
she
to
doesn't
start
have.
sometime. My goodness, Shirley Temple was only,
Now,
what,
honey,
4 or
I love
5?
Betsy just as much as you do. Let's face it, she's not another Shirley Temple. Now, let's not be parents who push their child into doing something she's not fitted for at all.
And if you'll be quiet a minute, I would like to tell you that Miss Petrova, her dancing teacher, thinks Betsy has a remarkable sense of rhythm. She said Betsy was a born dancer.
Oh,
now, well, that's
honey,
what she
now
said.
look, this Miss What's-Her-name over isn't going to
Petrova.
tell you, Petrova, that Betsy isn't talented. I mean, she's in business to make money.
Well, Shh. Here she comes. Did you get your cookie, dear?
Mm-hmm.
That reminds you of Shirley Temple?
Oh, Betsy, that's enough, dear. Now you go get undressed and be sure you brush your teeth.
Mommy, can I put on my leotard and my tutu and show Daddy my ballet dance?
Well, no, dear, it's late, honey.
What's she
Now.
gonna
As
put
long
on?
as I can't do it in the recital, couldn't I just do it for Daddy?
Oh, yes, of course. Sure, dear. Hurry up, then. Oh, the poor little thing. She's so unhappy about that.
About what?
Go on, dear. Well, she was supposed to be a hollyhock in the dance recital, and they took her out of it.
Took her out of it? Why?
Well, I've got to go up and get her ballet shoes off the shelf for her. She can't reach them. Then I'll
What
come
do you
down
mean
and
they took
then
her
I'll come
out of
down
it?
and tell you about it. Frankly, it made me pretty mad. One minute, Miss Petrova tells me how well Betsy is doing, and then she turns around and says she's taking Betsy out of the hollyhock dance because she's not good enough.
Not good enough?
That's what she said.
Not good enough, my daughter?
Well, I'll be down in a minute and tell you all about it. And if you need any help getting into your leotard, dear, you call Mommy.
All right, now come on. What's all this about Betsy not being good enough to be in this dance recital?
Oh, she's going to be in it, but not as a hollyhock, which makes me mad because she's been in with the hollyhocks and she knows the dance perfectly.
Well, why can't she be a hollyhock? The idea of telling you that Betsy isn't good enough. What does
You
she
just
mean?
said a while ago you didn't think Betsy had much talent.
I think Betsy does remarkably well for her age. I just meant maybe she was too young to start, that's all.
Yeah.
But
Well, I am really good and mad about it. And, of course, Betsy feels terrible because all her other little friends are doing the dances they've learned, and their costumes are much prettier, you know. Mary Lou Kendall's going to be a daffodil, and Candy Cunningham is a sugar plum fairy, and Clara Ford is a snowflake. Sandra Hughes is a fluffy white bunny, and the Bodine girls are butterflies. The costumes are just lovely for those parts, you know.
what's
just makes
Betsy
me-
supposed to be?
Well, they made her a caterpillar.
A caterpillar?
Yeah, just an old brown caterpillar. The costume is awful. It makes
What's
me
she
sick.
supposed to do as a caterpillar?
Well, that's the point. The caterpillars don't really do a dance. They just sort of crawl around. Frankly, I think the rest of the caterpillars are the children who don't have much talent, but they have to be put in the recital anyhow. And I suppose Miss Petrova had to think of something to do with them. But to take Betsy out of the Hollyhocks at this late date...
Look, if my daughter wants to be a hollyhock, she's darn well going to be a hollyhock and not a dirty old brown caterpillar.
Well, I'm afraid there's not much we can do about it, dear, because actually...
Look, did she have the nerve to tell you that Betsy wasn't good enough?
Well, she said Betsy was younger than the others. The truth is, I think, that about 3 weeks ago, a new little girl joined the class, a Nancy Thatcher. She's older, and she is good. She's already had about 3 years of dancing, but to put her in as a hollyhock and take out Betsy made me so mad.
Now, wait a minute. Wait, hold on. Let me get this straight.
They can only have 6 hollyhocks.
Why?
Well, because it's the way the dance goes. The hollyhocks dance with the daffodils, and there's just 6 daffodils.
Oh, well, all right, I get that. But you mean they put someone in Betsy's place?
Yes, this new girl, Nancy Thatcher. Well, I know it's all her mother's doing. That Mrs. Thatcher's just one of those women who, just takes over. She's always telling you how talented her daughter is, how Agnes DeMille once saw Nancy dance and said she was going to be a great star someday, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I don't believe a word of it. Child doesn't dance one bit better than Betsy.
Now, wait a minute. You mean that Mrs. Thatcher just insisted that this teacher replace Betsy with her daughter?
That's what I think happened, yes. I do. She gets very cozy with Miss Petrova, But frankly, Eleanor said she thought it was all just dirty politics.
Dirty politics? In dancing school?
Well, Eleanor said she heard that Mr. Thatcher owned the building or something the dancing school is in, and maybe Miss Petrova wants to stay on the good side of the Thatchers so they don't raise her rent or something. Well, I don't know how true it is, but anyhow,
well, for Pete's sake, it could be.
Well, whatever it is, I was just so mad about it. Of course, we paid for Betsy's lessons for the rest of the year. You know what it's like to try and get your money back. Otherwise, I'd have taken her right out.
Thatcher.
So mad about it.
Thatcher, wait a minute. Wonder if that's Kenneth Thatcher.
Yeah, Mrs. Kenneth Thatcher and poor
Is that
Betsy.
who it is?
Kenneth Thatcher, yes. When the teacher told Betsy about it, she tried so hard not to cry, and she didn't say a word home in the car. And then when we got here, she said, "I wanted to be a hollyhock, Mommy." I just could have cried myself. I could.
Yeah. Then to make her just an old caterpillar.
Yes, just...
That poor kid.
I know.
Mommy, are you using my leotard?
Yes, dear. Come here.
Oh, say, doesn't she look beautiful? Golly, what's that thing called?
That's her leotard, just tights, really. All dancers wear them.
Leotard?
And the pink, fluffy skirt is a tutu.
Oh.
Sit me up, please.
Yes, turn around.
Tutu, huh? Oh, and those ballet shoes. My goodness, you look like a real dancer.
I am a real dancer.
Oh, well, of course you are.
There, all zipped up. You going to do your hollyhock dance for Daddy?
Yes. I don't have the music, Daddy. I'll just sing it.
All right, fine. You put on a show for Daddy, huh?
You have to buy your tickets first.
Oh, excuse me. Yes, of course. Where's the box office?
Well, the telephone stand in the hall here can be the box office, and I'll sell the tickets. Now, let's see. What'll we use?
There's some jelly beans. Use those for tickets.
All right. Shouldn't the star be out of sight in the dining room, maybe, huh?
Yes. All right. Buy your ticket, Daddy.
Okay. I'd like one ticket, please, for the ballet this evening.
Yes, of course. Here you are. That would be 2 cents, please.
Oh, my goodness. Prices have certainly gone up.
Well, this is right in the front row. Have a good seat.
Fine. I hear it's a very fine ballet. There you are.
And don't eat your ticket, please. They will no doubt be collected again after the performance.
Oh. Okay. Here. How about here? Can I sit right here?
Yes, sit right there. All right, we're ready. Let the show begin.
Well, Mommy, pronounce me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have to pronounce it.
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to introduce Miss Betsy, the premier danceress of the great ballet company, who will give you her interpretation of the dance of the hollyhock. Come on, I've introduced you. Come on, sweetie, come on.
I'm a little hollyhock, hollyhock, hollyhock. I'm a little hollyhock that dances in the sun.
Ah, that's very nice.
That's not the end. I just started.
Oh, I'm sorry, darling. Yes, go on.
I'm going to start over now.
Yeah, all right, honey. You start over. I'm sorry.
I'm a little hollyhock, hollyhock, hollyhock. I'm a little hollyhock that dances in the sun. When it rains, my petals droop, petals droop, petals droop. When it rains, my petals droop, but oh, is it such fun.
Her what droops?
Petals droop, flower petals.
I'll be glad when she gets her teeth again. I can understand her.
You're not supposed to talk at a show, Daddy.
No, you're right. I'm sorry. It's very rude. Go on, darling. Go on. You're just wonderful, honey.
Watch me dance my little dance just for you, when you. Oh, I forgot.
I'm a little hollyhock that looks so
bright and blue. Please don't put me in a vase, or I fear, my dear, I won't come up next year.
Now, curtsy, put your foot behind. Turn your toe out. There.
That was wonderful. That is the best dance I have ever seen.
Want me to do it again?
No, darling. It's
Way
all right.
past your bedtime anyhow.
Oh, please let me kiss the hand of the great ballerina, please.
And let me unzip the great ballerina. Now, you get undressed, darling, and clean your teeth. You had a cookie. I'll come up and tuck you in.
Good night, Daddy. Wasn't I good?
You're just wonderful, darling.
I wish I could do in the recital instead of just being an old caterpillar.
Oh, I'll bet you make the best caterpillar there, dear. Now, go on upstairs, dear.
Good night, Daddy.
Good night, sweetheart.
Good night, darling. I'll come up.
Well, the more I think about that, the more it burns me up.
Well, I guess worse things have happened, but I certainly was mad about it.
Well, by golly, if my child wants to be a hollyhock, she's going to be a hollyhock. Where's the phone book? Thatcher. Kenneth Thatcher. I know who that guy is.
You can't call him. What would you say to him? It was Mrs. Thatcher that caused all that. Who are you calling?
Mr. Kenneth Thatcher.
Well, what are you going to do?
Look, I'm just going to play a little politics myself. More than one way is to skin a cat. Or shall we say, in this case, skin a caterpillar. Yes, Mr. Thatcher. That's right. Yeah, we met at the Chamber of Commerce. Uh-huh. Well, look, I'm awful sorry to get you out of the bathtub, but I feel this is very important. Now, my daughter was supposed to be a hollyhock, and now, because of your daughter, she has to be a caterpillar. And I just feel that
he stands there dripping. He must think you're drunk or something.
Dancing school, Mr. Thatcher. Well, you can get the details from your wife, but my daughter is very unhappy about it, and I felt that you wouldn't want my child to be unhappy about something you could do something about. That's right, Mr. Thatcher. Oh, no, look, these things happen.
What's he saying, anyway?
No, I'm sure it was quite unintentional. No, now, please don't apologize. Well, I was sorry to get you out of the tub, but thank you. Thank you very much. Good night. Yeah, he's very nice about it.
Well, what did you... Well, you didn't even say anything,
don't worry,
really.
Dear, he understood me. He's trying to get the support of the Chamber of Commerce for a new parking lot he's trying to put in downtown.
Why, honey, that's almost blackmail.
Not at all. Look, I was for him anyhow, but he doesn't need to know that. And anyhow, Betsy ought to be a hollyhock. She really is talented, honey. All right, so she's not so hot as a tap dancer, but ballet now.
Why, honey, she just
Look, she's
started.
graceful, and those little hands, honey, did you notice? And the way she points her toe. Look, she's better than Shirley Temple ever was.
Oh, well, now, honey,
I think
don't...
we got another Pavlova on
Why,
our hands. I wouldn't
dear,
be a
you
bit
can't
surprised.
Tell. She's not quite 7. You can't...
Honey, is she asleep? Betsy, honey, you're going to be a hollyhock.
Oh, Daddy, how do you know?
Your daddy knows, dear. He arranged it.
Oh, Daddy, you're wonderful.
Yes, he is, dear. And don't you forget it. Your daddy is wonderful.
The Couple Next Door is written by Peg Lynch and stars Peg Lynch and Alan Bunce, with Francie Myers as Betsy, and is produced by Walter Hart. This is Stuart Metz, inviting you to listen again tomorrow to The Couple Next Door.